Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video we are going to check out JasmyCoin's price chart. And if you remember, in the previous update I believe we were right in here, and the idea was this is a 1-2 decent move up into wave 3, and we want to say this is a correction for 4, and we can expect one way or the other another move up into wave 5. Now let's hide everything. As you can see, we did get this move up, and on it we absolutely took the highest side about 2 cents area. However, the story is actually a bit different, and now I am going to say maybe this bullish scenario is not happening and we need to change some waves, and you are going to get really mad at me in today's update. I'm pretty much sure about it. So here is what I have to say, and I think we need to start counting from this point. Why? Because I think the structures in this phase up are actually quite clear. I would like to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, another move up into wave 5, most likely to about this point into wave 1, followed by that correction for wave 2, and this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into wave 3, probably a flatter structure down into 4, and yet another beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave into wave 5. Now, why is this so important? Because I still do believe that the end of our wave 3 is in here. Now I'm going to say the end of wave 4, it's probably right around this area, and this might be, I don't know, maybe like a WXY structure, generally some sort of a complex move, and I really doubt about this thing being, for example, an ABC flat. No, I'm thinking more like a WXY, and this orange 5 wave up is actually into our wave 5, and we also said this in the previous update as well. We said what happens after a 5 wave up, you know what, a correction structure on the downside if we are looking bullish and optimistic. Now, first things first, let's go on 30-minute time frame. So since we now believe this is a 5 wave on the upside, I am now going to argue we do not want to see a move down in JasmyCoin in order to take this important slow down here about 1.45 cents, because that is going to challenge a hell of a lot of bullish scenarios. And at that point, maybe we're going to say this is just a simple ABC zigzag and not an impulse, and after it's over, and maybe it's over already, we are going to have a massive move down in order to take the lowest low all the way down here about like 0.8 of a cent. So for now, your invalidation point for pretty much all the bullish scenarios should be taking this low about 1.45 cents. Now let's zoom on more and see what is happening, and I believe if you want to say to about this high we completed a 5 wave, you probably have to consider the possibility of having an ABC zigzag, which the subwaves for it are gonna be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a correction for wave B, maybe ABC, maybe WXY, maybe even a triangle, not important, and yet another 5 down into wave C. Let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. Maybe it's best to go on 15-minute time frame. Okay, so I think so far at least we can all agree this is a very simple and classic 5 wave impulsive structure down, and well, on a higher degree, if something like this is happening, odds are this is just going to be into an A leg, and sure, in the short term we may see a move up, but be careful, that move might be into a wave B, and then we may have another move down into our C leg. Is this going to be necessarily a bad sign? Absolutely not. In fact, if we identify the right subwaves in this phase, and also especially in the move after this ABC zigzag, we are going to say this is probably a fantastic long opportunity in JasmyCoin, in hope that we get another huge move on the upside. Why? Because you can say this is a wave 1 correction for wave 2, and then the next move is going to be a big one into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And what is one very important characteristic of a wave 3? Usually being a very strong and sharp move on the upside. That's why if this is happening, the next move is going to be beautiful and magnificent. Now, question, can we have another possibility? Yes, and here is how I like to argue that. Let's go around here. Okay, I still believe, do not get me wrong, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, but on a higher degree, the story might be a bit different. Why? Because you might be able to say to about this point, we're gonna have like an A, B, C, D, E, a triangular structure into wave 4. Let's just take this one. There we go. Maybe this is A, this is B, C, correction for wave D, and another ABC on the downside into our E leg, and then this is a 5 wave up into wave 5. Now, In that case, I believe we may have an ABC in form of an expanded flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move down into a correction for wave B, which in it we're going to take this side, and then very strong move down into C, which in this phase we're going to take the low of our wave A, and for the subwaves, ABC down into A, ABC or maybe WXY into B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down into wave C. Let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. And this is kind of the problem with this structure. Earlier in the video, I said I'm pretty confident about this move being a 5-wave impulsive structure up, but in this scenario, I'm gonna have to consider the possibility of having an ABC on the upside, and this can be an ABC structure down to about this low, and on a higher degree, maybe this is an ABC expanded flat. Question: what is the difference between this scenario and the previous one? Well, the previous scenario suggested maybe we are going to have some sort of a reaction from these areas, but that is going to be temporary, and then we can expect another move down. On the other hand, this scenario suggests from here we're going to get a move up, sure, but that's actually going to be an impulsive structure on the upside, very strong move, and this point might very well be the end of our correction in JasmyCoin. So let's have a quick conclusion. I believe in JasmyCoin, soon after maybe a continuation of this move down in the short term, we are going to have a move on the upside, but the move itself is not really that important. Honestly, it is kind of predictable. What really matters is the shape of that move. Okay, you need to see, are we going to have in this phase a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very good move up without a lot of overlapping of the waves, or this is going to be a slow and choppy move? If you see a slow move, okay, you need to count on another move down in order to, I'm gonna say the exact same thing that we said it also in the previous video, to reach to about this important region between 1.6 to about 1.7 cents. Why is this area important? Because when we got this move up, it happened a bit too fast, and as a result of it, in H4 time frame, we actually created a very beautiful and clear gap in here between, again, 1.6.5 to about 1.7 cents, and I believe gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled. And if we see all the right structures, well, okay, makes sense to say the target for this move down is going to be at least filling this gap right in here. And again, I want to be very clear. It's not guaranteed that from here we're going to get a very strong bounce. No, we may actually go lower, but that is not going to be that important at all. Okay, what really matters is this: are we going to, during this phase down, take this important low about 1.45 cents or not? As long as we are not taking it, I think we are going absolutely according to the bullish plan, and there is just nothing to be worried about. These moves might very well be just part of the bullish process. Simple as that. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in JasmyCoin's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.